Hey everyone, back for another MTG Arena video. I was going to release this video first, but the One Ring happened, so I wanted to make sure to get that one out into the wild as fast as possible. If you haven't checked that video out yet, please do that. The Karn Ring. Just go off with Karn and the One Ring in Historic. It's pretty sweet. Also, if you don't mind, if you're liking what I'm doing, please subscribe to this channel. Every subscriber that I get will help me out in the long run, so I really appreciate that. Thanks to my friends who have already subscribed. You're the best. So this is dungeon combo for Explorer and Pioneer. I used this deck to win a regional championship qualifier. So I'll be in Atlanta. I don't know if I'll play this deck in Atlanta. I would love to play this deck in Atlanta, but it has a really tough Azurius Lotus and Azurius Control matchup. Everything else is pretty okay in the format. This absolutely dunks on Green Devotion. It whoops on Mono White pretty good, but I think Mono White Humans is on the decline. It's fine against the Rakdos decks. Sacrifice can be a little bit tricky, so I would make sure I had a Yasharn in my sideboard. If I was going to play this in a competitive event. Because this card just absolutely dumpsters Rakdos Sacrifice. So you just play this and then none of their cards do anything. It's pretty great. I'm going to run this deck through a best of one Explorer event today. I love this deck. This is like my go-to in Pioneer. I think the deck is very strong. I know that a lot of other people will just default to Mono Green Devotion because that's a more powerful deck in a vacuum, but if you like creature combo decks, if you are a fan of Birthing Pod, this is your deck. I'm telling you. The newest technology that I've added, which will come to the surprise of absolutely no one who's paying attention, is adding Karn to this deck. Karn shores up a lot of the problems that you run into. It's good against Sacrifice. It shuts down Devotion's really their only way to compete with you, which is to play their own Karn and go get a Stone Brain, and then Stone Brain a piece of the combo, depending on what the board state is. But if you have your own Karn, they can't ever activate their Stone Brain. It's also good because if decks are really gunning for your combo, you can just slam a Karn and then maybe, untap and play Leveler because you just create so much mana, and that's really strong too. So I guess I should explain this combo deck before I get into the games for anybody who might be unfamiliar with it. So the combo is Gwenna says adds 2 mana in any combination of colors. Spend this mana only to cast creature spells or activate abilities of a creature or creature card. Whenever you cast a creature spell with power 5 or greater, put a +1/+1 counter on Gwenna and untap it. Acererak happens to be a 5/5 and costs 2 black. And it says, when it enters the battlefield, if you haven't completed Tomb of Annihilation, return Acererak to its owner's hand and venture into the dungeon. You're going to go through this dungeon infinite if they can't break this up. And if you're wondering how you're going to go infinite, one only makes 2 mana, so you're a mana short. Kin says, go ahead and add an extra mana when you tap a creature for mana, or a non-land permanent, excuse me. So you assemble the combo, and it's actually a lot easier than it looks. So you can go turn 1 Elf, turn 2 Gwen, and then And then from there, if you just have it, you win on the spot because you play Kin and then you play Acererak with your Gwen, and that's it. You just untap and go infinite through Lost Mine. And the reason why this is how you automatically win is because it says Dark Pool says each opponent loses one and you gain one life. So you just go through it. Unless your opponent is at more than more life than the amount of cards you can draw. So you can usually go through this dungeon 40, 45-ish times to 50-ish times, is the max before you attack. So if they have more life than that, then what you're going to have to do, and that does come up every once in a while because collected angels is in the in this format. What you're going to want to do is just make this thing trample them to death, with Ronus or with Shadow Sphere. So you can deal an awful lot of damage. And maybe you have to do it over 2 turn cycles, and that's fine as long as they're not killing you. This deck has been around for a long time. I didn't find this combo. The Hive Mind on the internet found this, but I did tune the shit out of this list. I saw a lot of other lists that were playing cards that I think are just bad. Relic of Legends. It says add a mana of any color, tap and untap legendary creature you control, add 1 mana of any color. This card sucks. I get that it helps you go infinite, but it doesn't do anything. Like my eyes would roll in the back of my head and I would pass out if this is like what I had to do on turn 2 instead of just playing a creature. I just think it's bad for a bunch of reasons. So it's not a creature, so it can't be hit off Collected Company. You can't go find it with Fauna Shaman. You can't get it with Dustwatch Recruiter. It's just a win more card too, right? Like this is what you want. You want Kin and Gwen, and instead of playing this card, my big find for this deck was Neoform. Neoform's incredible in this deck. There are so many excellent lines with Neoform. You can go get Scoozy, and just, you know, dunk all over Greasefang. Like they have a really hard time winning if there's an ooze in play. Or, you know, you can go, if you need to, find the Rex Sage to know, you know, if somebody's trying to break up your combo with an artifact, you just go get Rex Sage. Or my personal favorite thing to do with Neoform is you go turn 1 Elf, turn 2 Prosperous Innkeeper, instantly turn your Prosperous Innkeeper into Gwen on turn 2. So Gwen just comes in as a 3/4. So it just invalidates a lot of the removal in the format. And also you just have this giant body on turn 2. That's my favorite thing to do with Neoform. You just go this into this, and then you'll have an extra 2 mana because you go land Lawn of War Elves, turn 2 land. You tap Lawn of War Elves in one of the lands, and then you play Innkeeper. It gives you treasure, and you have another land, and then you just Neoform it, and then you're just untapping and able to win on turn 3. The best starts are Elf into Gwenna on turn 2, however you're doing that, whether it's just natural or you're playing an Innkeeper and Neoforming. Innkeeper is also just really good against aggressive decks that you know, maybe pressuring your life total early. It may give you that extra turn to survive and set up the combo kill. But yeah, this deck is incredible. I love it so much. It's 8 elves, which is in my happy place when I get to play 8 elves. You play a Singleton Duskwatch. This is also another way to combo off, because if it flips onto the backside, it effectively, this plus this is infinite as well. So it's a 5th copy of Can. It's not as good, so that's why I only play 1. But it is sometimes a good tutor target if you're grinding and you need to just kind of use the front half's activation ability. Really fun, quick story about this card. I originally had this in my sideboard for my black green energy deck that I did super duper well with it. Grand Prix Pittsburgh in 2017, and a local pro, Zach, actually talked me out of playing this in instead, playing Lifecrafters Bestiary, and I had never played with that card before, and I fucked up so many times with that card in top eight, and I was told many times that chat just lost their goddamn mind every time I played it because I just never scried with it. Um, and I wish I would have kept Duskwatch Recruiter in my deck because in my sideboard, because I played with this card so much, and I muscle memory would have just kicked in, and I would have played this card accurately and correctly. And Life Crafters came down, and I just didn't do what I was supposed to do with it, and I think I lost my top four match because of that. So that's a fun story that I get to tell, and I actually have that Life Crafters bestiary in a frame with some of the other cards. Just so I can look at it and be reminded of how big of an idiot I am. So yeah. Anyway, back to the deck. Fauna Shaman. I was playing for. The card is awesome. So like, you sometimes will turn 3 Collected Company, and then you get this, and then you just get to instantly untap, use it, and kill them. I think 3 is fine though because you never want more than 1. The second copy of this card is just always bad. So. I think 3 is right. I think 4, this card, I had like, at one point I had 1 or 2 in the list, and then it just kept going up and up and up. This card's amazing in this deck. The one of Scoos is a bullet for Fauna Shaman. You just, again, this shuts down a couple different decks in the format. The most popular of them being Greasefang. 4 Kin. Card is incredible. I don't play Commander, and I don't know if I ever will, but if I did, this is what I would play. Neoform, this is the technology. This is the pterodactyl technology right here. The card that really pulled this deck together. Anytime this card is showing up in a deck, you know that your opponent is up to no good. Card is insane in this deck. It's just absolutely bonkers. For Ace, got to play 4 Ace because it's a combo piece. 4 Gwen, probably the best card in the deck. Next to these, obviously these are just always the best card in the deck. Any deck they go in. 1 Reclamation Stage in case your opponent's trying to do nonsense. This is also a way to give you some game against Azurius. You can hit a temporary lockdown. Sometimes you get lucky and find it off a company, and then you blow up all the lockdown, and you can untap and kill them. I don't play this in the main deck in paper, but you have to play this in the main deck on Arena, because if you don't, the rope will get you. You can't actually go through Fandelver enough times in a cycle before the rope will pass the turn. So what you do is you just, you're going through your deck, you're seeing so many cards, eventually you'll either find a Neoform or you have a Fauna Shaman, and you can just go get Ronus and make your Gwenna trample through for the win. For Collected Company, this is such a good Collected Company deck. Creature combo decks always love Collected Company's cards, the most busted in decks like that. And then the one of Karn. If I was playing best of 3, I might actually play 2 Karn, and I would put the Ronus in the sideboard. But because I'm going to play a best of 1 Explorer event, I think that I'm just going to play the singleton, so it's like the 5th Collected Company. And again, the wish board is Crypt for anything that's, shenanigans. A Shadow Sphere in case you need to trample them to death. The Goat Boat, you will always find this in my wish boards for Karn. Noxious Gearhawk. It's a way to get rid of a pesky creature that Boat can't get rid of when you don't have access to 8 mana. It's also 5, which is important for Gwen. Gwen likes things that are 5+. And then a pair of Cityscape levelers, because in some matches you're just going to go, you're going to turtle up, you're going to protect Karn, you're going to go get a leveler, and you're going to go get another leveler, and then you're just going to cast levelers and attack with levelers for the rest of the game. So this is just gives you another angle of attack in case you're playing against the deck that kind of sniffs out what you're up to and is able to shut down your combo, which is not easy to do. Like, you need to have 2 to 3 pieces of interaction plus a quick clock, or this deck will it'll find what it needs. It's really good at rebuilding after the first couple rounds of targeted removal. Mass removal is a pain in the ass, so that's another way to beat this deck. But yeah, this is the deck. This is Dungeon Combo. I've been playing it at all the Pioneer RCQs that I've attended. I lost in the finals for the San Diego round, and then I just won an RCQ in March or May. I don't know. I'm losing track of time. But I've won an RCQ, and I'm going to Atlanta, and it was on the back of this deck. A little different because I didn't have Karn, and my sideboard was bad. I had a really bad sideboard. So I will put this list up on Moxfield as well, and it'll be the best of 3 version. So if you're interested to see how you would build this for paper in Pioneer, literally nothing changes in the main deck. Oh, I almost forgot. You get to play this idiot as your companion too, because it just lines up perfectly. So you just get a free 5/5, or you get a free pitch for Fauna Shaman. The amount of times that I just put this in my hand, instantly pitch it to Fauna Shaman and win is pretty gross. Like, this is probably one of the most egregious cards in Pioneer that will never get banned. Like, I can't imagine this card will ever get banned, but it's pretty gross that you just have a free card just waiting for you whenever you need it in a creature combo deck that can easily just cast this thing too. It's pretty strong. So, all right, I'm going to go through an Explorer event and just kind of show this deck off. I haven't played Explorer in a while. That's why I'm just going to do an event. I've been playing a ton of Historic with the One Ring, so I want to take this through a best of 1 Explorer event and see if it still has the magic. So be back for that event in game 1. On the play for game 1, this is a pretty strong hand. I am going to keep this, lead on Breeding Pool Lawnmower Elves, and then see what my opponent's doing. Take it from there. Opponent has Swamp Pass. Alright. I'm going to do it all. I'm going to play Kin. I'm going to play Innkeeper. And I'm going to play Fauna Shaman. Not a bad turn too, right? Opponent has Swamp and Baleful Mastery on my Kin. Okay, I'm going to discard the Fauna Shaman and go get Gwen. I'm going to play Gwen and pass after I attack with the Prosperous Innkeeper. The Baleful Mastery makes me think they don't have another removal spell. They don't. So if yeah, this game is over. I drew another creature. I might have been able to pull it off even if I didn't, right? Yeah, because I could have. No, I wouldn't have had enough mana, but that's okay. So we're gonna pitch. I could have neoformed into it as well. Yeah. So hold on. I'm going to win here, but I just want for my own sanity to talk this through. So if I didn't draw the extra creature, right, I tap Breeding Pool, Bark Channel, um, and the Lawn of War Elves, and Breeding Pool, Neoform into Kin, and then just win. Yeah, okay. So um, I'm going to do it this way, though. Discard this, go get Kin, play Kin. I think if they only had one removal spell, they should have killed my Fauna Shaman. And now we get to go infinite. Through the Lost Mine of Fandelver we go. Fun for all who are involved. All right, my opponent conceded. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. All right, that's a good start. Let's keep it rolling. All right, here we go. Back for game 2 of this Best of 1 Explorer event with Dungeon Combo. I go first, and this is my first Karn sighting. This is a pretty historic moment, everybody. The first Karn sighting with this deck. Let's find out if it's good. This hand is pretty strong. I'm gonna start with Breeding Pool on tap, pay 2 life, and lead on Elvish Mystic. You could lead on Lawn of War Elves if you want to. I always like leading on the Elvish Mystic. You know, it lives in the shadow of Lawn of War Elves. This is gonna be a tough one. So I'm gonna play this tapped, the Breeding Pool tapped in Lawn of War Elves. My opponent went Hollowed Fountain, lay down arms my Elvish Mystic. And now they have a Glacial Fortress, so they're just passing. I think I want to play around... Censor and Disruption. So I played my Blooming Marsh and then played Gwen. And they're cycling Shark Typhoon, which is great for me. So I'm going to go ahead and battle them. And I have Mana Confluence, Collected Company, and Karn in hand. So I'm feeling pretty good even if they have temporary lockdown here. They don't have temporary lockdown. All right. I'm just going to play Mana Confluence and battle them. I know how to shove. They're going to Shark Typhoon for 1 here. And I'm going to take this opportunity to get Karn on the battlefield. That is fine. Yeah, I think I'd rather get Karn here now that they tapped out in combat. And then go get... I think this is going to be weird, but I am going to get... No, I'll get Tormod's Crypt first. So Crypt will keep them off of Flashback Deluge. I was thinking about getting Cityscape Leveler there. So they have Wandering Emperor, which is okay, because I'm going to go ahead and just play a main phase Collected Company. Yeah, I'm just going to play... If this was going to come into play untapped, I would actually go get the Goat Boat and kill the Emperor, but that's unfortunately not an option. So I'm going to play Fauna Shaman and Asarak here. I'll go into Lost Mine. I'll scry. I'll keep that right where it's at. I'll play this and I'll go get the boat. Feeling pretty good. Karn is looking great against Azorius control. So I'm feeling pretty good. They have another laydown arms, so they're taking out my Fauna Shaman. I guess they're just gonna make a 2/2, which I'm totally okay with here. And what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna plus Karn on nothing and pass the turn. And if they tap out here, I'll collected company. And if they don't, I will just say go ahead. And then what I'm going to do is when they go to try to kill my Karn, I'm going to try to collected company. And force them to counter this. Make disappear is pretty strong here. Okay. Karn down. I think it's still best to pass and try to collect a company again. I'm not going to do it in combat this time. There's no reason. There's nothing to protect. Take 2. They play Teferi. Okay. This is looking pretty tough for me now. I'm going to go ahead and do collected company in response to this Teferi activation. If they have another make disappear, I mean, I can't do anything about it. All right, not terrible. This is actually pretty strong here. This gives me Kinnan activations at instant speed. All right, my turn. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think I just have to pass, unfortunately. Yeah, I'm going to pass and try to activate Kin. We'll see. We'll see how this goes. I don't love my spot here because they have active Teferi. I'll just go ahead and take my 2 from the Samurai. I'm going to go ahead and do this now. I'll auto pay. Looking for a Gwen. Found a Gwen. See if they have some instant speed interaction. They don't. I mean, I'm going to go for it. I mean, it's not getting any better for me. They have an active Teferi. They let my Gwen untap, which is great. So I think they have to counter this. They did not counter it. So I'm going to create a treasure token. And I'm going to do the same thing I just did. And I'm going to play Asurek. I don't understand why they waited. Make this an O2. I think my best play is to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, I think my best play is to do this. Attack Wandering Emperor. Kill Wandering Emperor. Nice. All right. 5 here. I think I just want to pass. Or do I want to play boat? No, I'm going to play boat. If they have a counterspell, they have a counterspell. If not, this is actively great for me. I'm going to play my Fauna Shaman. And I'll let them cast their Memory Deluge. They didn't even have a Deluge. They're going to Supreme Verdict here then. This is the only thing that makes sense to me. They had a lot of untapped mana. They could have put their um oh yeah, this makes sense. Wait, hold on. What are they doing? All artifacts? Okay, sure. Sure, I can never beat this fucking card. Well, that is one way to beat that fucking card. Alright. Let me think here. I think what I'm going to do is just play this and pass. End turn. They're cycling. Yeah, I have to let all this happen, unfortunately. I have to... Alright, I'm going to add a green here. I'm going to company now. Now that they're completely tapped out. I'm going to get Scavenging Ooze here. It has a little more play. They probably have Supreme Verdict. Yeah. Alright. I think I'm pretty dead now. But this is the deck that has me most hesitant to ever play this in a really high level competitive event. I don't want to auto pay, unfortunately, because they'll tap my mana wrong. They have a counter spell. Okay, they did. They saw me coming. I'll do this and do this, and say, I'll take another draw step here. I am out of basics. This mana base is greedy AF. It has to be, though, because of Azrak being a black card. I'll take one more draw step, and then I'll pack it in. They're hard casting the Shark Typhoon against me. Collected Company into Reclamation Sage and something else. Well, that's a good one. So if they can interact with this, all right, good game. I concede. I surrender. All right, I'll be back for another game. All right, here we go. Back for game 3 in this best of 1 Explorer event with Dungeon Combo. Currently 1-1. Azurius Control beat the shit out of us, unsurprisingly. I'm going to keep this hand. This hand's pretty strong. It has turn 1 Elf into turn 2 Gwen, which is the dream. So hopefully we're playing against another creature deck. We're playing against Rakdos, which isn't great. They can Thoughtseize all they want. Thoughtseize here is like actively not very good, which is always a pleasure when the Thoughtseize just isn't super duper strong. All right, we're gonna jam Gwen, and if we draw Ace, we're in there. They could have Heartless Act here. They could Bone Crush my Elf. Power Word Kill does the same thing. That's fine. All right, I'm going to make the same play I had last turn, which is just to play Gwen. Hopefully they don't have another way to kill this one. Hopefully they just have a 3-mana play, Fable. I'm not... this is game over. We just peeled it. See? This is just how you beat Rakdos. They just... You win the dice roll. You have Elf, and then you have Elf into Gwen, and then they're just on the back foot. Like, if Rakdos was the best deck in the format, and people were showing up with Rakdos in Atlanta, I would absolutely be bringing this deck. But I think that people have figured out that Rakdos is just not where you want to be for big competitive events. I think it's fine on I think it's fine on the qualifier circuit, especially if you're a strong player. I think it's a really solid deck choice. Um, but in Atlanta or at the regional championships, wherever you might be in the world, they lose. You lose a lot of the edge that you get because you're just playing against all the best players that are usually going to make the right decision. And so, um, and this is just a known quantity. Everybody's always gunning for it. Um, Always gunning for it. So I think sacrifice is where you want to be if you're playing Rakdos. But yeah, all right, I'll be back after I do this a billion times. All right, we're back. We're about to kill him. One thing I didn't mention was the order of Lost Mine. You always go scry, treasure, deal a damage, and then draw a card. That's the usual pattern. Now the board state may force you to do something else, but that is your typical play pattern with this. I hadn't mentioned that yet. So when you're going through Fandelver, you're going to scry, make a treasure, deal one, and then draw a card, and then um, oh, almost activated the wrong ability. And then from there, you just, rinse and repeat. So Ronus has to be in this deck for Arena. It's just the reality of the situation. So there it is. We got Rakdos mid-range. Let's go, baby! I'll be back for another game. All right, here we are. Game 4, Best of 1 Explorer event with Dungeon Combo. Opponent goes first. This is a mulligan. I would think about it pretty hard on the play. It's so hard to keep hands that don't have elf in your 7. Like, it has to be just natural combo in a way to do it on turn 4. I guess I could go Innkeeper into Gwen. No, I'm going to mulligan. This is way better. I'll keep this. I'll put back one of the Mystics. This is going to generate us a ton of mana, and we're just going to be able to activate Kin. Am I playing the Mirror? They led on Mana Confluence into Thoughtseize. Take my Kin, I guess. This might be Greasefang. I'll play Bark Channel and Elvish Mystic. You can play Llanowar Elves first if you want to. There's no right or wrong answer there. This is Greasefang. My matchup against Greasefang is pretty good. And I hopefully get to show you why next turn. Don't Thoughtseize me, opponent. Don't do it. Just don't do it, okay? Don't Thoughtseize me again. Okay. So I'm going to show you why this is such a tough matchup for Greasefang. I'm just going to go get Scavenging Ooze here. And if they don't kill it, oh, this opponent is like, this fucking bullshit Scavenging Ooze. I'm off it. Yeah, this card is Scoozy McGoozer, so I'm just brick walls Greasefang. I'll be back for another one. All right, here we go. Back for another game with Dungeon Combo in this Best of 1 Explorer event. Currently 3-1. Well, We have the combo and everything we could possibly need. It's slow though. This is turn 4. My opponent also mulliganed. It's just so hard to keep hands without elves. If I knew what I was playing against, if this was an open decklist tournament, um, I might. I'm gonna mulligan. Like I know this might seem wild to mulligan away the hand that just has the combo. And if I draw an elf, but yeah, like this hand is just so much better, so much better. Um, keep this. Put away ace. No, we can never put away ace here. Am I wild for even thinking about doing that? That's fine. We're gonna keep double elf, Duskwatch Recruiter, Forest, and uh, Bark Channel Pathway. We drew the best land possible. Elvish Mystic always gets to go first. We're gonna get pushed right off the cliff though. Maybe not. No. All right. Elvish Mystic is still alive. My opponent has Swamp, and they're a waste not deck. So I'm gonna go ahead and play a Forest and a Lawn of War Elves and a Dustwatch Recruiter. My opponent is probably gonna make me discard some cards. And that's fine. That's what their deck does, right? Waste Not says whenever an opponent discards a creature card, create a 2/2 black zombie. Whenever an opponent discards a land card, add black. Whenever an opponent discards a non-creature, non-land card, draw a card. And now they're gonna, instead of making me discard cards, they just played Fatal Push on my Lawn of War Elves and my Duskwatch Recruiter. So Elvish Mystic still standing. I kind of want to sandbag a land here. And the reason I want to sandbag a land is because if they hit me with something like Go Blank, I want to be able to keep my Acererak. Hope they just play a creature here. Edict, absolutely gonna kill. The Prosperous Innkeeper was a really good draw there, so I'm gonna lead. I'm gonna lead with the Innkeeper, and I'm leading with this so I have Shieldred's Edict protection. I'm just gonna play this on. Let me look at my battlefield. I don't have any way to make blue mana yet, so I'm gonna play that on Tide Channel Pathway, and then I'm gonna go off here a little bit with my ace. We get to auto pay here, and then we get to make a treasure and do it again. Yeah, I'd like to do it again. Auto pay. And I would like to make you lose a life. And then I'll just battle you and hope they don't have a way to pull my Acererak out of my hand or kill my Gwen. Feeling pretty good. The opponent has cast Waste Not and 3 removal spells, so hopefully they just have another Edict in their hand. They have another Waste Not, and oh boy, I drew the Reclamation Sage, so I think what I'm going to do is start with casting Gwen, or start with casting Acererak by tapping Gwen. I'm going to draw a card, see if I draw Kin. It's not Kin, but that is pretty strong here. I will do this again. I'm going to hit him for a lot of damage here. I'm going to scry. Even when you don't go infinite, that card's incredible. I'll leave that right there. Even when you don't go infinite, it's still pretty great. They're not quite dead here, but they're pretty close. Pretty close to dead here. play my Mana Confluence and do it one more time. Draw a card. I'll draw a kin now, probably. Oh, no, I'm drawing Collected Company. I knew that. Don't be a dum-dum. And then I'm going to hit him down to 2. And you know, I'm in a really good spot because I also have a Collected Company in my hand. They can't Thought Seize me here because they'll just die. But this is a good game to showcase that this deck is still pretty powerful even if you're not going infinite. They're casting Thoughtseize. I guess they're going out on their terms. So, you know, you live your best life over there, opponent. All right, another victory. Let's keep it rolling. Here we go. Currently 4-1 in this best of 1 Explorer event. Having a pretty good time. It's been a while since I played this deck. This hand is great. It's just missing Gwen. I would love to draw Gwen. But if we don't draw Gwen, drawing Karn isn't terrible. My elf is going to die here. I can feel it. Yeah. So we're playing against, is it Creativity probably? And I think Karn's going to be pretty strong here. They're leading with an op, so maybe they're looking for land. They put it on top, so that means they have a land drop. And then they're just playing Riverglide Pathway. Interesting. Interesting that they played this on the blue side and not the red side. So they must have another opt, right? I think it's best here to just play Fauna Shaman. Oh, it's Consider this time. So this might be Phoenix and not Creativity. This feels like it's probably Phoenix. You just never know. Fable's in all these decks. So I think what I want to do here is I kind of want to get Ooze, but I also feel like maybe that's just not strong enough. All right. I think I just have to try to get some mana online here. I'm going to pitch the extra Aceract, and then I'm going to get Elvish Mystic. I'm going to play Elvish Mystic and Mana Confluence and pass the turn. Because if this is Phoenix, then I can get Karn and Crypt them. If this is Creativity, I'm in trouble. It's really hard to tell. I think that it's probably Phoenix. That's a lot of this. Unless they're just playing a split, an odd split. Okay, this is definitely Phoenix, so... the Botanical Sanctum is going to hurt me here. Alright, well, I just have to chuck the Duskwatch Recruiter, go get Gwen, and play Gwen and pass and see what happens. I just hope they play another Crackling Drake or something like that. Hope they don't have a removal spell. If they don't have a removal spell, we're just going to win. They must just have it, right? Why? I don't know, man. I'm going to go for it. If they don't, you know, they might have Spell Pierce. Fading Hope. I'll add green. Resolve. They put that on the bottom. All right, I have 2 green, 3, 4, 5, 6. Karn doesn't do anything here. So I think my best bet is to replay this And then I know this is awkward because it shows them that I now have it, but this protects me from a removal spell. Um, oh, I'm just dead. I just killed myself by doing this, didn't I? I did. I just killed myself. Okay. Um, yeah, I'm dead. I'm super duper dead here. All right, the fading hope. The fading hope was enough, and then um, I imagine they probably have another spell in their hand. Yeah, so I'm just gonna scoop it up here. I was dead anyway, but I couldn't have actually played Gwen there because that just puts me dead on the spot. So, all right, is it Phoenix? Beat the shit out of me. I'll be back for another one. All right, here we go. Back for another game in this Explore Best of One event with Dungeon Combo. Um, this hand is super duper awkward. Opponent goes first. I'm mulligan. This hand is not good. I'll keep it though. Hope I'm playing against a good matchup. I haven't played against a whole lot of good matchups this event. Oh, that was an amazing draw. I'll play Botanical Sanctum and play the Lawn War Elves that I just peeled off the top. My opponent is playing Spare Supplies off of Hive of the Eye Tyrant and Rafine's Tower into Spare Supply. So I guess there's some sort of artifact combo deck. So this will be fun. All right. I guess we just play Kin and Innkeeper and pass the turn. We get to activate Kin next turn and then hopefully kill them if they don't interact. But I imagine they have some interaction, right? The Meat Hook Massacres, for one. That's fine. I don't love it, but you know, it's it's not terrible. I'm gonna play Skoos. I think Skoos is gonna be good here. If you're playing Spare Supplies, right? Like, there's no need to crack my treasure and play Ace. I think Skoos is gonna be pretty strong here. Doom Foretold. So at the beginning of each player's upkeep, they sacrifice a non-land. All right, and I'm at 20. All right, so I guess it's in Skoos we trust here. There's no reason to crack this. I'm going to kill my Kin. Yeah. Kill my Kin. Oh, that's the worst possible frickin' draw. I guess I have to play it. This is embarrassing. Alright. I'm still going into the Lost Mine here. I don't think that's good here. Play this tapped and attack. My opponent sacrifices their Meat Hook here, probably. Their Spare Supplies. I don't know. This is going to be a tough one to win. I'm going to need to find a Collected Company. I think End Step Collected Company will be pretty strong against the Doom Foretold deck. I'm going to lose my Scavenging Ooze here. But, you know. What is this card? Return target from your permanent from your graveyard to the battlefield. Okay. You got it. Okay. Well, that's a pretty neat combo. I guess I could have cracked my treasure and prevented that, but whatever. I think having a treasure is better. Didn't I put you on the bottom? Could have swore I put... All right, I'm just gonna scry here. Create a goblin token. Let's get him. Teach him a lesson. I'm not gonna play my elf. Um, yeah, sure. Omen. I really need to find Collected Company. I think I can win if I find Collected Company. Because this deck is slow as hell. They're gonna kill their Omen, right? Yep. Okay, so they killed their Omen of the Sea off the Doom Foretold that they flashed in on upkeep. I don't hate that. I mean, there are worse things that could be happening. You know, I don't know. Maybe they have some big finisher in their deck. The meat hook for one was really strong. Jace. Okay. Jace is an interesting one. I guess that's a good win condition, isn't it? They're going to plus on my Gobbo. All right. Discard a card. I'll discard the extra ace here. And then I'm going to play Prosperous Innkeeper and play another round into the Fan Delver here. Gain a little bit of life. I think I'm going to put a counter. I don't often go this way, but this seems like the way to go. Yeah, I'll play my elf too. Like I can't beat meat hooks here, so no attack. My board's looking pretty good. My opponent does have 5 cards in their hand, and I am left with just ace, but I get to... I'll block with my Gobbo on their knight. Yeah. They're attacking the battle. I'm going to block with my Gobbo. They're probably going to meat hook here, right? This play doesn't make any sense unless they have another meat hook. They're hitting me for a little bit of life. I'm back down to 20 because my innkeeper has been keeping me nice and healthy. Supreme Verdict. So they have meat hook and verdict. This is just a nightmare matchup, isn't it? And then Treacherous Blessing. All right. They're drawing 3 cards, and they have 5 cards in their hand, and they have an active Jace. So I think it's best to play this and draw a card. I hope I draw a land. All right. I didn't draw a land, but next turn I can go Fauna Shaman Kin. I think I'm going to die. I think that this is just not a good matchup. They're slow as hell, though, so, like, I could just find Peel a Collected Company. If they're not killing me, I'm going to, you know, I'm just going to keep playing Ace, I think. They're going to mill. They're milling me? What are they doing? They just milled half my deck. Why'd they do that? They have another one? This only makes sense if they have another one. Otherwise, that play was silly. They just put their Jace in the graveyard to bin. Oh, okay. Well, it's less silly if they're going to play another invasion and get back Jace. Sure. And then mill me again? Okay. All right, opponent. I see what you're up to over there. How many Collected Companies did they mill? Not any. Not a single Collected Company, huh? How many of my combo pieces did they mill? What is going on over here? They're playing Founding of the Third Path. They're milling me again. This is a mill deck. This is a mill. Oh, look at that. All right. How many well, let me see here. I have 1, 2. All right. So I'm just going to pass and hope that I can kill them. Yeah. Because it doesn't look like they have a lot of instant speed interaction here. I guess if they could just mill me out here, right? Oh, this sucks. I have to let this happen. Um, yeah, I just have to. They just have another one. They just have another Jace here. I'm just dead, right? Yeah. Okay, you got me. All right, that was a nightmare matchup. No, I didn't have fun. Nobody has fun when they play against Mill. Nobody. All right, well, that's it. Um, feels a little bit unsatisfying to end it that way. So, all right, it felt very unsatisfying to end the video that way. So I went into just the open queue. Um, I'm gonna try one more game here. I'll keep this. Playing against what looks to be Rakdos deck. They're gonna fatal push. All right, so my hand's pretty good against. Oh, they're Grixis. Okay, well, that was really strong. Drawing another elf was really strong there, so they might counter this. Yep. So they got it. I'm gonna play another elf, and then if they kill this elf, we're going to be in trouble. But otherwise, we're feeling okay. So they played turn 3 Corpse Appraiser. And I didn't draw a land, but I did draw another Collected Company. So I'm just going to go ahead and play Kin and also play Fauna Shaman. Put my opponent in quite the bind. Thought seized away one of my Collected Companies. They took my ace. Okay. I'll allow it. They're going to Fatal Push Kin. And now I'm just in a spot where lands and spells are beautiful. So I'm going to play that. And I'm going to bash with my Fauna Shaman. And pass the turn. I'm sure they have at least one Make Disappear. But that's okay. Because I have 2 Cocos. And 2 Cocos is always the way to beat a counterspell. They're going to Thought Seize me. Yeah, I mean, yep. And if their last, Archfiend of Dross, well, I would like to kill you then. All right. We're locked and loaded and ready to kill them. I just need any creature. Okay, out of here. Actually, I don't even need a creature. I have a creature right here. No blocks. All right, here we go. Gonna go ahead and pitch the extra ace. Go get Kin. Tap blue. I'm tapping this so I can just combo off. All right, we got him. We got him with the combo. We beat Grixis through a bunch of removal spells. So again, this deck does really, really well against spot removal unless you have a really fast clock. See there. All right, I feel a little better. We went 4-3 in the Explorer event. That's just about your money back, a little bit less, but we played against Azurius Control, which is really tough, and then we played against another deck that had a whole bunch of sweepers, and that's the way that this deck loses. So when you run into that, you know, part of the format, you're just gonna get punched in the face every time. But you know, that's Magic the Gathering. Every deck has a bad matchup or two. Again, I'm Rob, known as Pterodactyl on Magic Arena. I really appreciate everybody watching. if you could do me a favor and subscribe to the YouTube channel, I would very much appreciate it. If you could share my videos with your friends who you think might enjoy them, that would also be super duper helpful. But I'll be back again very soon. Who knows what I'll be doing? Maybe an arena open, because there's an arena open coming up in July. Maybe when this video is being released, I'll be in that arena open and being recording that and putting that up for my next video. So that's probably what it's going to be. It's probably going to be the arena open Lord of the Rings day one sealed event, is what my next video is probably going to be. So again, I really appreciate everybody taking the time out to check these videos out. I have a lot of fun making them. It's Magic the Gathering is my favorite hobby. So it's even more enjoyable sharing it with other people. So again, thanks a lot, and I hope you have a really kick-ass rest of your day. Peace.